Hi, I just wanted to share a quick looky-see at Bruce taking his morning nap. This is how he generally sleeps with his tongue out, which I find absolutely adorable. So now let's go to the floor and I'll show you the Traveler Notebook inserts that I received. Okay, so now we're on the floor. The ticking that you hear, which I forgot to mention, is the Haunted Mansion clock from Disneyland. I do have my front door open and the sun is starting to come in through the front door. So hopefully I can get this filmed before the sun actually hits my planters. So over here we have the Hobonichi Cousin. This is the Hobonichi A6 cover. And then I have two Traveler's Notebook that I wanted to share. So let's start with that first. I also mentioned the insert, which I received last week. So I bought these two as a set from Amazon. So this is the standard size, and then this is the passport size. And I've been thinking about using this as an everyday carry wallet. I've been watching some videos on YouTube to try to transform this little guy into a wallet to carry like my driver's license and a credit card. So when you purchase this, at least when I purchased this on Amazon, it came with some notebooks. So there are 3 notebooks in here. I purchased this in 2016, and I only know that because the back notebook, I have some notes written in it from 2016 when I got sick, and it had like my thoughts, my dates, days that I had my surgery back here. So I won't share that with you, but I will continue to use this as a medical notebook, you know, jotting down dates, maybe how I'm feeling on a certain day, because I do have another A6 notebook that I have dedicated as my medical journal, so that when I see my doctors, I can let them know, you know, what days I had surgeries or examinations, days that I've maybe say changed medication or anything like that. So, but this, again, I plan on hoping to use as an everyday carry. So let me just show you. So the first one though is a monthly calendar layout. So let me do it like this. So let me show you a blank one. And you can see how light it is. But there are 6 columns and there are 7 days in the week. And it's kind of strange because they put 1 here and then is it 31 right there? And this obviously doesn't work for me. So what I decided to do instead, and plus there's so many pages, if I use this as just a monthly layout, that this should last me a couple of years. So I did it like this. You can see the whiteout on top because I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. And so there are 7 columns for the every day of the week. This is for August. And so this is how I plan to use it. This particular layout. So today's the 8th. So street cleanings today. My best friend's birthday is on Friday. And then I have a medical appointment on Thursday. Bruce has a cardiologist appointment on the 24th. The dark blue is a trip that we are going to take next week. It will be my father-in-law's celebration of life event that my in-law is throwing, my mother-in-law is throwing for him. And then the lighter color is the time off that my husband's taking from work. And so I figure because I, you know, did this myself, I'm going to do it again for September. And so that way, at a glance, I can see what activities are happening, if any, on a given day. So this is my passport. And then in my standard Traveler's Notebook, I currently have a blank notebook. I have a folder that I created, and then the Hobonichi Weeks. And I put the Hobonichi Weeks, the string, between the cover on cover and the Hobonichi Weeks so I don't mess up the binding of the weeks. So this is this week. Looks like this. This I think my sister bought for me. I keep the exercise here, weights and steps. If I'm ordering any packages, I will put over here. This is for last week. I did exercise 3 days last week. We did order some things from Amazon, so they're right here. The tape, washi tape, is from Michaels, and I didn't order any washi tape anytime in the past few months, so I'm pretty happy about that. I'm trying to use up what I have. This is for last week. This is, I think, from Daiso, I want to say, or maybe Michaels, I'm not sure. But again, it's a few years old. And then the week before that. And then the bills I have in the back. So let me just show you. I won't show you the bills, but I will show you how it's laid out. So it looks like that on the blank note pages. So August bills. So the bill, it's when it's due, the amount due, amount paid, and then whether or not it got paid. So I plan to do this layout in here on the notes page. So there are 3 booklets when you buy it. There are 4 months in each booklet, so the entire 3 booklets should last you the entire year. My intention is to not purchase a Hobonichi Weeks for 2023 because I want to use my Traveler's Notebook a bit more for 2023. And so in the notes section right here, I plan to copy this and put it over here and then drag it over to the index page side if I need to, because I don't plan on using the this index part. Here is the monthly layout. It is undated, and you can see how light it is. So that would be my only gripe about this booklet. Other than that, I'm satisfied with it. This is a horizontal layout, a week on 2 pages. And I think there are 5 weeks. 3, 4, 5, and then we're back to the notes page, another index, and then we're back to the monthly layout. So that is the inserts this is one insert from a pack of inserts that I purchased from Amazon, which I plan to put in here for 2023. Next, let's go to my book journal, my reading journal that I am keeping in an A6 zip cover. This is the boy and dog cover. I'm generally not a bright colored person when it comes to things, but I just love this color. I love the cover. It is just so cheerful. And initially I had kept my doodle book in here, but since I'm not doodling too much in my A6, I've been doing it in my cousin, that I decided to create a reading journal out of an old Techo that I had not finished using. And I've shown that, I think, in a couple of past videos. Because I love to read, and I haven't been reading much lately. I've been in a bad reading slump for the past couple of years, and then, I read a couple of books, and I was sort of enjoying myself, and then I read 2 books that I had a DNF, so I did not finish reading it, because it put me in a complete reading slump. Didn't want to read. So this is Foundry Side. And again, this is something that I've shown in a previous book, but I wanted to share this page because other, I guess, readers would print out the cover of the book that they read, and then they would, tape it into their journal. I decided to doodle my covers onto the page and then watercolor it, because I have a lot of watercolor that I need to use up. So that's kind of what it looks like. Here's another one, Legends and Lattes. A very good book if you want to kind of dip your toes into fantasy. This is what I would call a cozy fantasy. And I'm repeating it from somebody who had commented, who made that comment about this book. And I highly agree. It is a cozy fantasy. Very good book. And then, again, the opinions of these books are my own. You may have a different opinion if you've read these books. But this is the first book that put me in it was the start of my reading slump. It was a very slow book for me, that I had to put it down, but this is the cover that I doodled for it. Then the next book I tried to read was The Thursday Murder Club, and I generally love murder mystery books, but I don't know. I kept reading, I think like the first couple of pages, 5 or 6 days in a row, and I just could not get into it. So I'm gonna DNF. I did DNF this book, and hopefully when I'm in a better mood, maybe I will go back to this and try to read it. So some time went by before the library sent me this ebook. It is called Taste My Life Through Food by Stanley Tucci. Is that his name? This is my pencil doodle of his book. It's an autobiography. I don't have, where's my iPad? My iPad's sitting over there. But so I plan on going in later and coloring this in a little bit. And so what I've been doing is every time I've found a quote that I like, and in this case he has some recipes in his book, I'm writing it down in different colors. So like here's a quote, so you can see the different colors. So a change of color indicates a different quote or a recipe. And so far it's been a fun read. It's been an easy read. And I've been enjoying myself. So hopefully this book will get me out of my reading slump. So that's my reading journal. And now we go into my cousin. This is what it looks like. So if you're new here, what I would generally do in the beginning, more than 7 months into this book, I was printing out photos, taping down comic strips, and then writing my comment about it. So first let me show you actually my weekly layout that I did for last week. So this is for this week. I am going with a Gudetama theme. I think I purchased this from Daiso or Sanrio in the mall. And this, you know, this is a couple of years old. At least 2019, I would imagine. So this is last week. I went with, I don't know what this cat is called, but this cat. And I also want to say this, I picked this up from maybe the Japanese store in Epcot at Walt Disney World, or it was picked up from Daiso. I'm not 100% sure. I'm trying to use up all my stickers. This week I decided to go with the Mickey themed. This is the stickers from Happy Planner, Disney, the collaboration they did. And then this I picked up from Daiso for sure. So that's what this looks like. It's, you know, it's nice and clean. And when I was feeling a bit more colorful, I was doing this kind of a layout. So where you can break it down like this. So instead of doing the vertical columns, this is sort of vertical-ish, but I broke down the days. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This would be my notes section. And for me in this particular corner, I put down packages that I was expecting. Whereas in this week, if I was receiving packages, I would put it over here. And so let me show you what I was doing before. So it would look like this. So I would print out photos. Here's the comic strip and then my comments. But lately I've been in the doodling mood and not really into doing this anymore. And it feels really similar to a commonplace book. So, okay, let me slide my planner. So this is for yesterday. We got my car washed in a car wash. I started some seeds, green onions for my nephew in a pot, and they are starting to sprout. This is from a stamp. I forgot to do something on these 2 pages. This is a balloon plant milkweed that my sister is growing. She sent me the photo and I just thought it was really unique. So I tried to doodle it, and then I wrote down some information about the plant. Over here is Victor. So Victor is a bald eagle that the Ojai Raptor Center are rehabilitating. The website, if you would like to visit, is ojairaptorcenter.org. I will link their website down below. And if I remember, I will try to link the video that they uploaded of Victor eating, which is pretty neat. So this is my interpretation of Victor eating a bird. I keep saying that, a bird. It's not a bird, it's a fish. This is the first time that he's been able to feed on his own. So in case you didn't know, Victor was rescued from the Santa Cruz Island. They weren't sure what his problem was. So after a couple of days / weeks of testing him, he had high zinc levels, and so the Ojai Raptor Center started rehabilitating him when they accepted him. I think it was July 12, I want to say. So it's been almost 3 weeks. But he's finally able to stand on his own, and in this particular video on August 3rd, he was able to feed himself. This is, I think, duct tape, and then they put some paper on his tail, and I think it's supposed to help protect his feathers. I'm not 100% sure. But I will link the video of him eating down below, as well as the website of the Rescue Center Rehabilitation Center. And please remember that wild animals are not pets. They do rehabilitate animals, and if they're able to, they let them go in the same vicinity of where they found the animal. On the 2nd, Vin Scully, who was the Los Angeles Dodgers baseball announcer, he passed away. So I wrote down some information about him. And then this slip of paper, which I won't share with you, is the obituary for my father-in-law. On August 2nd, it showed up in the local paper up there, and so I printed it out to put in my journal. And then, you know, here's Snoopy and Charlie Brown with a quote that I really enjoyed. This is my currently page for August, and I mentioned this in my last video. So on this column, these are the events that are happening this month. These are my goals for this month. And then books that I'm reading are over here on this side. I'm hoping to read 3 books. Like I said, I have not started August well because I was in a reading slump. But the Taste book by Stanley Tucci, is that how you say his name? I need to put it right there. And then last week I showed you the pencil drawings that I did for the past week, for last 2 weeks ago, and I colored it in. So I wanted to share that with you. So again, this is Victor. So on July 31, he was able to stand on his own without any help. And so this is what he looks like. And yes, he was in, he's been at the center now since July 12. But he looks really good. And I really like the way how this came out. But his head is supposed to be much darker, like this. But I didn't really want to darken it anymore because I was worried I was going to lose some of the quote-unquote features that I've been able to kind of watercolor in. So I'm going to leave it like this. And if you want to see the pencil sketches of these guys, just watch my last video. You'll see what it looks like before I colored it in. So these are the 2 plants that I received in a trade. And I actually like the pencil doodle better than the colored, watercolored version. But oh well. So these are the 2 plants that I received. Here's a dragonfly. I only colored it in black because it was a black dragonfly in the quote. And now I kind of wish I put it in a different color, because the one that I've been seeing outside is like a red orangey one. But oh well. This is my gem avocado. If you want to see what one looks like in person in real life, Just look it up. It's really pretty, but it's black with gold specks. And my yellow gel pen is not, it doesn't look that good. Here's my panda. I just used a black pen and kind of just colored it in a little bit. And I think it came out all right. Initially, I was going to leave them alone, and then I thought about just coloring the piece of bamboo. But then as soon as I did that, the green kind of washed out the pencil sketch. And so I just went ahead and traced them in black like that. Here's my doodle of Bruce, which I'm going to leave in pencil because I don't want to screw it up. And then I decided to leave my tomato, how to save seeds from a tomato, alone. And then we're back to the beginning of 2 weeks ago. So this is, oh, and then here's a picture of Angus Rose, my bulldog. So we've had her, so she passed away. And then here's Bruce. And I thought this was a funny photo because Angus would look at me like this when I'm sitting on the bed. And then Bruce started doing it too. Kind of peeking over the bed to want to get on, but waiting for permission to do it. So that's what that is. So these are a flip through of my Traveler's Notebooks, Passport and standard size, my cousin, and then my reading journal in my A6 cover. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this. And I hope you guys have a great week, and hopefully I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.